everyone, welcome back. I want to do a little bit of a trigger warning right now. I don't know, I don't have anything scripted. I don't know what I'm going to say. I don't know. I'm just going to be pouring my heart out. And so this is a TMS update. I was supposed to do this December, January, February, March, April, 5 months ago as a 6-month post-procedure update on having had TMS this last summer. For those of you checking in right now, in the future, reading this video or watching this video, it is May 8th of 2018, and I was supposed to do a check-in in December. But you know what? Life has its way of happening, and sometimes it takes a tumble. And sometimes no matter what medicine, no matter what procedure you take, some events are so extreme that it doesn't matter. My brother, who I haven't checked my videos in a while, I don't know if I mentioned it or not, but he was a severe opiate addict for the last 10 years. And for the last 3 years, he has needed assisted living care from both my mother and I. And on St. Patrick's Day, just almost, oh my gosh, 2 months ago, in some ways it seems like it's been 10 years, and another way it seems like yesterday, he finally passed away. And it was very hard because he had been gaining strength, he had been gaining weight, he had aspirations finally to have a career, he was changing his life around, and then he got hit with the flu. The simple flu, and because of the damage to his heart, he had congestive heart failure already, he ended up passing away. And my brother was my soulmate, my twin flame. He and I were best friends. He was 4 years younger than me. I'm 34 and he was going to be 31 this July, in just a couple months. And I look presentable, I look animated, I look well and happy to do, but I'm not. I'm a queen of facades. I have, since my brother passed, because it was so sudden, we literally had 48 hours notice of the severity of his condition, and then he passed. Like super well, doing great, doing chores around the house, participating, eating, cooking his own food, completely taking care of himself, self-sufficient, up to 130 pounds from 72. He was 5'10" at 72 pounds, and he got up to about 139, I think it was. He was doing phenomenal, and then in 48 hours, he's gone. And last year we had said goodbye to him 3 times. I had written his eulogy 3 times, and that was so tremendous, and that's part of the reason why I went through TMS last year. Under the TMS diagnosis criteria, you are qualifiable to have TMS if you have major depressive disorder. I'm bipolar, borderline, and major depressive disorder, on top of a slew of other fantastic things. But yeah, mental illness is mental illness. We're all on some sort of a spectrum, right? Anyway, if TMS does not work, it worked for me, great. And I'm sorry, the sun is changing. There we go. There we go. Let me fix this a little bit here. Bravo! What was I saying? Okay, TMS did work for me. It worked phenomenally. Worked better than any drug. I had ECT. If you watched my other videos, I've had ECT, electroconvulsive therapy or shock therapy. I've had DBT, CBT. I've done IFS. I've done so many procedures and so many variety of therapies. And TMS was my cure. But wait. Ah! Okay, there we go. And then but yeah, TMS was my fix-all. But sometimes it doesn't work for people, legitimately. Just as for any procedure or any medication, it's all individual therapy, all individual treatment plans. I can't stress that enough for anything. But if it does work, but then later on you have another episode, like how I'm currently having right now, you can do what's called a reboot, where you don't do the pardon me, I have a cold, I'll get to that in a second. You don't have to do the full 6 weeks of TMS. You do some shortened Cliff Notes version of it, just to re-trigger your neuronal pathways. And again, if you look back at my videos, I'll include links at the bottom to my progress and my experiences through TMS. You even get to see me go through a TMS procedure and see it magnify my brain. It's pretty cool. That's Bacon back there. That's my boy. Anyway, so I don't know how long this reboot is going to be, or since it's been literally exactly a year since I started TMS last year in 2017. I don't know if I am going to have to do the full 6-week series. Right now, you know how insurance can be. I had to get an ROI request of information from the center to my psychiatrist, back to the center, which took forever. And then insurance now, they finally got the information, but now insurance is having to approve it. And even though I have double coverage with 2 PPOs, it still just takes time. And so I've been waiting for 3 weeks in agony, wanting to get this done. And it's just stalemating. I know it's going to happen. And that's my only hope right now in my life, is that I know it's going to happen, but it isn't happening now. And as I was telling my mom and my shrink today, like, you can't just tell me, okay, well, we'll send the information over and we'll see about over the weekend what happens. I don't live over the weekend. I live in agony, in pain every second of the day. I was practicing mindfulness last year and trying to really incorporate that into my life. My God, I am mindful of every second of every day that I am hurting and wanting this to end. And that's why I wanted to put a trigger warning up at the beginning, because I wanted to tell you in detail about what's happening. My brother passed away, and then when right after that, you know, when well, I don't know if you know, but when death occurs, you're especially after a prolonged death, your immune system can just kind of crash. Not crash, but just all of the tension and holding it all in and everything. Once it's over, it's just kind of like a mournful. And so my dad was working with a coworker who had spent 3 weeks in China and just came back. And he came back with a flu from China, and it's affected my dad and several other of his coworkers and their spouses and families. And it's affected my dad, my mom, and me. And so you can hear my voice. This isn't just tearful, like crying. This is bronchitis and sinusitis that I've had for over a month and a half now. I've been on 3 antibiotics, and we can't get rid of it just on top of that. So that adds to it. Another thing that happened, they're probably not going to want me to share this, but I don't care. It's my channel. My parents have been loyally, like happily, joyfully married for 49 years. They got married in 1969. And so, and they've been just loyally best friends. They're the quintessential couple, okay, that you never see. And because of the sickness that we've all been having, they've now been sleeping in different rooms. And so that kind of just that change happened at the same time my brother passed away. And so in my mind, it was like, oh my gosh, my parents are in the beginning stages of splitting up. And my brain fathoms and exaggerates all of the outcomes. And then on top of that, there was some other stuff. Oh, we're in the middle of remodeling. The week after Danny passed, we started doing remodeling. Our kitchen is gone. We're having to use the wet bar, our liquor bar. Well, here's one blessing that I have right now. This is Tesla. Say hi, Tesla. He's shy. He's my puppy that I got. I told my parents this last fall, I was like, my hormones are kicking in. I either get a kid or I get a puppy. So you decide. And they're like, we're going to opt with the puppy. So I got myself a Labrador, Golden Retriever. And he's the love of my life. He's 10 months old and he's a goofball. Aren't you, bugger? But, so that happened. So the remodeling happened and it's just been really hard. And Danny, my brother, his name is Danny, he was part of my routine. He was part of every morning I would wake up and I'd make breakfast for him. We would watch the same shows every morning. We spent the first half of every single day together, waking up together, because we were both insanely waking up early. And all that's gone. Everything changed. My entire life fractured. And my mom, who I'm admittedly partially codependent on, when I'm sick, when I'm ill in an episode like this, I'm very codependent on my mom. I am no longer working right now. I haven't worked in months since before the holidays. I can't go out anywhere in public. I can't drive. Like, I mean, I can physically drive, but I'm unwilling to drive just because I just can't. I'm not socializing besides what's on social media. I have one or two friends come over, but I don't make the effort to go out, and bless their souls for having the patience with me to take this time to grieve and get well and healthy. I was supposed to go on a trip like 2 weeks after my brother passed. I was supposed to go on a trip up to Washington State. I'm in San Jose, California, to see one of my probably my bestest girlfriend that I've known since kindergarten, and her sons. Gosh, dang it, Tesla. That's my dog's name, Tesla. And I had to cancel that last minute because of my illness, and that just broke my heart because I wanted to see her boys, my boys. And I ended up self-harming pretty severely. I didn't need to go to the hospital, but I'm still recovering from the self-harm that I did, which I'm not proud of. But again, that's another reason why I can't go out in public, because it's all very visible. That's another reason why I don't want to go over to my friends' houses when they have kids, because it's very apparent. That's the reason I don't have friends over, is because it's very apparent. And a lot of my friends aren't very... I have a ton of friends who are very aware of mental health and mental illness, but I also have an equal amount of friends and family who are completely absent-minded when it comes to mental care. And so it's been a struggle to find support with my mom being sick, not being able to rely on her to take me places, to take me to the pharmacy, to get me meds. Because like in all earned, what's the phrase I'm looking for? In all warranted, completely warranted, there we go, completely warranted, she's been far too sick. She had to go get a chest x-ray. She's been far too sick. And that's another thing. I've been freaking out because my parents are old. Sorry, Mom and Dad. My parents are old. They are 58 and 68 and 69. They wish they were 58 and 59. And now they're having chest x-rays and they're not recovering from their bronchitis or sinus. And it's just like, shit, like first of all, I'm the last child of our family. I'm the legacy of our family. And now my parents are getting sick and they can't support me or take care of me when I'm sick and ill. When I call ill, that's when I mean mentally ill. When I say sick, I mean physically sick, like bleh. So it's been hard. It's been really hard. And so, and then the reason why I didn't update back in December was I was going through my regular seasonal depression. I completely forgot about that. And from about, I remember the day it kicked in. It kicked in like a, Tesla, no, leave it alone. Good boy. He got a gold star for his training. What was I saying? Shoot. This is what happens when you don't have a script in front of you of what you want to do. I don't know. I've been trying to... Oh, the reason I didn't update was because of seasonal depression. And I remember the day it happened on the day of Halloween in 2017 is when it struck me in the face like a battering ram, man. It was hard, and it was relentless. It didn't give up until when my brother came home around mid-January again. He's been in and out. So when I say came home, this is one of many times. But sometime in mid-January. And then I was so blessed to have January, February, and March to spend with my brother when I was feeling good, when he was doing good. It was honestly a blessing. Such a blessing. Part of the reason I'm having such a hard time with this grief is because of the fact that I don't feel I have the right to grieve, if that makes any sense. Like, so many people have had such more horrendous circumstances where they didn't get to say goodbye. They left on bad terms. They didn't get to give them that final hug or reconnect with them. I got all of that. And so I feel like whenever I start to talk to someone about my pain, I know that they have a worse story. Their parents died. Well, shit, that doesn't compare in my head. It doesn't compare to a brother dying. Or their kids, like my mom, her kid died. I can't compare my pain to that. And I know if you compare, you despair. Like, you're not supposed to compare your pain or your trauma, because the same man who is dead, the same man who drowns in 3 feet of water is just as dead as the same man who drowns in 10 feet of water. Pain is pain is pain. It's not freaking... See, I need to watch this video over and over again to hear this and get this going in my head. So anyways, that's why I didn't update, because I kept thinking, well, I'm going to get better. I'm going to get better. And it didn't. So I'm being accountable now. If I was being true, it's 5 o'clock. This is my poor time of the day. And if I was being truly accountable, I wouldn't have this mask of makeup on, and you can see me kind of sinking down now. It's been really, really hard. And I am very, very, very much suicidal. I don't have a plan, but I have a suicidal ideology. I have fantasies of it. The only thing keeping me here is knowing that my parents wouldn't cope if they lost their last child, and knowing that TMS is back on the horizon again, because of the 6 weeks, it was, I think, week 3 that it finally clicked, and I started feeling one of the technicians said, don't look for more positive things, but look for less negative things. And that's when I started noticing less negative things. There we go. That's a pretty shot. I can't see, but that's a pretty shot. And so I'm looking forward to that again, and hopefully I will be updating you soon as to how that is going. I'm sorry, I'm doing this right at dusk, and so the sun's sitting down, and I have here, look, I have bay view windows, and so trying to get that with this, but I want my paintings in the background because they're all mental health kind of illustrated. I told you, this is not scripted. So, yeah, I just wanted to keep it real and give you guys an update, let you know what's going on. Yeah, I'm still here. I'm going to be here for a while. And I'll catch up with you guys soon.